For today's cup of coffee, I'm going to make it a little bit lighter but still keep it in the realm of spooky by telling of an event that happened when I was a kid and attended a Methodist church. I was in elementary school. I have no clue how old I was when all this happened, but I was young. And we were all gathered there in church one Sunday, and the usual events were taking place before the service began. People were recalling the events of the previous week, collecting names for the prayer list, laughing, and just interacting with each other. The sanctuary had really high ceilings and unusual lights that the glass parts of them were like shallow bowls, and they were suspended by these metal chains or metal rods or something like that. Now, the lights didn't look that large, when you were looking at them from the pew, but if you had ever seen one of them up close, you realized how large they really were. Okay, my grandfather was the superintendent of the church, so he would go early to unlock the building, turn on all the lights, and make sure that everything was in order for the service. Everyone thought it was a typical Sunday until we began to smell something peculiar and hear these high-pitched squeaking noises. People began to look at each other, to look around, and then someone looked up, and we noticed that there were bats hanging from the alcove near the front of the sanctuary. We also noticed that what we were hearing and smelling were bats that had settled in the bowls of the lights, and they were being cooked as the lights got hotter. Okay, people began to run out of the sanctuary as bats began to fly out of the lights. Panic ensued. Screaming commenced for some. There was lots of ducking and covering of heads. And I remember my grandfather and some of the other men, they were attacking the creatures with brooms and whatever long objects that they could collect. The children, including myself, we were being ushered downstairs supposedly to safety. It didn't take us long to realize that there were some of the bats and other flying furries that were hanging from the stucco and the trim there in the stairwell. So we're having to go right past some of these bats. More panic ensued. And as I recall, my mother was highly upset with me for laughing rather hysterically, which was brought on by observing the actions of others, not at the bats. And I don't know, I sort of horrify my mother. That continues today. Okay, so after the bludgeonings had subsided, it was later discovered that somebody had accidentally left the tiny door leading to the belfry jar. There's like a little trap door there where the bell pull was. And I don't know how long it took to clean those lights, but I'm really glad that I was not included in that process. And so, yeah, I mean, it was just spooky, horrifying, hilarious, all in one. And if you have any encounters that are supernatural, paranormal, spooky, it can be dark humor. I love dark humor. I live on it. Okay, other events may include UFOs, aliens, Bigfoot, chupacabras, alternate realities, which may or may not include substances, or whatever else that you may have. Just send me an email at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. Nobody's going to make fun of you unless you tell something that's funny, and then we're going to laugh. We'll laugh with you, not at you. You don't have to worry about being judged when you submit a story to us. And we share these encounters because many of us have been made fun of. We've been judged, we've been discounted because of our experiences in the past, which is why we don't do it to each other and we won't do it to any newcomers. We share these tales so that others will someday share their experiences, and also to educate and encourage each other. And we're really enjoying this as far as the community that we have with each other. And yeah, we want other people to take part in this also. Secrets do keep us sick. And so we're poking holes in darkness, one story at a time. You all have a beautiful, blessed day.